Welcome back to my channel, students. If you have not yet subscribed or those who have joined newly to this video, to this session, I request all of you to please subscribe my channel so that any of my videos which I'll be posting in the future, you'll be getting notifications and you'll get access to all my videos. So in this particular session, I'll be discussing on very important questions, objective type of questions from genetics from NEET point of view. So here I'll be discussing each topic and I'll be giving you a clear explanation of each question. So please follow carefully and start solving each question. Once you listen to each question and answer, understand it and start solving each question, each answer. So let us start with the first one. If a mulatto man with genotype, mulatto man means mulatto man is having this genotype. It is a complete double heterozygous genotype. He marries a white woman, completely recessive, double recessive. Mulatto man has two dominant genes and the white woman with all recessive alleles. And the question is, find the possible phenotypic ratio in their progeny. So what will be the phenotypic ratio present in their progeny? So here we can make a cross. A cross can be made. So what are the types of gametes which are formed by this complete, say, double heterozygous? Here we can say 4 types of gametes can be formed. We get this way 4 types of gametes from this parent, whereas from the other parent, from the female, we get only 1 type of gamete. So here when we cross it, we get this way. These are the 4 individuals which we are going to get. AA, BB, and last one completely double recessive. So what are the genotypes we got is, here we got in the first one 2 dominant genes. So this will be mulatto. First one will be mulatto. The other 2 individuals, these 2 individuals has only 1 dominant gene. Here the A is dominant gene, here B is dominant gene. So there is only 1 dominant gene in these 2 individuals. So these will be, we can name their skin color as very fair. And the last one with completely recessive. So this is completely white, or we can call it as albino. So 1:2, 2:1. This will be the answer. So 1 is mulatto, 2 are very fair, the other one is albino. This is the first one. Now going to the second one. What would be the sum of phenotypes and genotypes obtained from a trihybrid cross? In a simple way, we can remember, a trihybrid cross is with respect to 3 pairs of genes. So 3 pairs of genes. So in a trihybrid cross, there will be 8 phenotypes. 8 phenotypes and 27 genotypes. I am going to give you shortly a table. 8 phenotypes and 27 genotypes. So when we add these two, sum of these two we have to find out. When we add these two, we get the answer as 35. So here what you have to do is, you have to remember a table. This is what is the table which you have to remember. So try to understand, take a screenshot, keep it with you, and then try to learn the table. This is very, very important table for NEET point of view. So here we have about 8 columns. What all we have done? Number of traits or characters. What are the number of traits or characters? Monohybrid, dihybrid, trihybrid. So first one, what is the experiment? Monohybrid. This is the monohybrid cross. F1s are selfed. Next column is how many types of gametes are formed here. We can give gametes 2 to the power of n. What is n here? Number of traits present or characters present. In monohybrid, there is only one character present. So here you will get types of gametes as 2. Next column is number of zygotes or offsprings. So here gamete square, we have to give as gamete square. Here we got 2 gametes, 2 square. So number of zygote or offsprings will be 4. Next column is number of phenotypes. Same here, 2 to the power of n, just like gametes. So here we get 2. Next column is number of genotypes. This we take it as 3 to the power of n. This is general formula which you can remember it for any type, for any number of characters given here, any pairs of genes given here. So types, number of genotypes here 3 to the power of n. So here monohybrid only one character considered. So here 3 to the power of n, that is 3 number of genotypes. Phenotypic ratio, we know 3:1. Genotypic ratio 1:2:1. So monohybrid, there is no difficulty in remembering. All of you can remember. Now next we will see for the dihybrid, where 2 characters are considered, represented by 2 genes, 2 characters are considered. So this is what is the cross given for dihybrid. This cross, you know, it is double heterozygous condition and this cross. And here we get types of gametes. Types of gametes, what is the formula? 2 to the power of n. Here 2 characters, so 4 we get here. 4 gametes. So gamete square, we get type of number of zygote. So we get 16 here. 16 offsprings in a dihybrid cross. The next number of phenotypes, again same, 2 to the power of n, just like number of gametes. So here we get 4. Then next is number of genotypes. Number of genotypes we get here 3 to the power of n. So here characters are 2. So 9 different genotypes. Phenotypic ratio, we know monohybrid ratio is 3:1. So here 3:1 to the power of 2. So we get this as 9:3:3:1. This ratio, all of you know it, 9:3:3:1. Genotypic ratio we get as 1:2:1 whole square. So this when we do this also, you know it, 1:2:2:4:1:2:2:1. This is the genotypic ratio. This is how, by using these simple formulae, we can find out these various aspects. Now, third one, trihybrid. Trihybrid. So if we take trihybrid cross, this is how we can represent a trihybrid cross. So 2 to the power of 3. So n is 3 here. So 8. Gamete square, 8 squared. So we get 64 here. And 2 to the power of n, same as that gametes. So we get 8 here. 3 to the power of 3, 3 cubed. So we get 27 genotypes. Phenotypic ratio 3:1 to the power of 3. So this we can multiply. You will get it, the number. You can do that. Similarly here 1:2:1 cube. So 1:2:1 already we got this figure. We got this ratio. This if you multiply by another 1:2:1. If you multiply 1:2:1 3 times, then you can get the genotypic ratio of a trihybrid cross. So this particular table will help you in a general, and this is very, very important. So what you have to do, you have to take a screenshot and then write it on your own, in your own handwriting, then and then learn it. Okay, now this is the information regarding the question which we just discussed. Now let us go to the next question. F2 phenotypic ratio for the character controlled by 3 pairs of genes. So this, you know, this is a trihybrid cross. Trihybrid, 3 pairs of genes, we know it is. One of the example here, we can take one of the example for this is human skin color. Human skin color. So example, if we take of human skin color, it is controlled by 3 pairs of genes. 3 pairs of genes. And here the ratio will be, for this the ratio will be, for this comes under the polygenic inheritance ratio. So ratio will be 1:6:15 to 20, 15:6:1. So this will be the answer. So this ratio human skill career you can remember under polygenic inheritance. So in my next videos I'll be discussing about polygenic inheritance. So there I'll give you a detailed cross about that. So here 3 pairs of genes you can, and previously I showed the table in just previous one. So by using that also you can find out. Okay, now let us go through the next question. So next question will be the proportion of seeds of garden pea is 330 green, 320 yellow. This can be result of the cross between. So here we are finding almost 1:1 ratio. We are getting almost in this number, we are getting 1:1 ratio. So we get 1:1 ratio and it is only one character. So we can consider as a monohybrid test cross. So what can we consider for this question? We can consider it as a monohybrid test cross. So you know a test cross is one where a F1 hybrid is crossed with the recessive parent. So here we can take the second one as correct. F1 crossing with the recessive parent. This is what we can consider. Now the next question. A test cross of F1 flies produced the following. This is the F1. This is the heterozygous. F1 flies. This is the heterozygous condition. So here test cross is made. That means this is crossed to AB and AB. It is crossed to AB and AB. A test cross is made. This is the heterozygous condition and a test cross is made. So here the offspring produced are these. So here this is 41 plus plus and AB. This is one of the parental. It is producing 41. This is another parental AB. We are getting 41. These are the recombinants. These are the parents. These are the recombinants. Recombinants are 9 and 9. So what is the distance between the linked genes? You know that to find out the distance, a very simple formula, we have to find out percentage of recombination to find out the distance. So percentage of recombination equal to total number of recombinants by total progeny into 100. If we do this, we get percentage of recombination. So total number of all together, if we add all this progeny, we will get 100. Recombinants are how many? 18. So total recombinants are 18 divided by 100. So 100 means this comes to 18%. So that will be the percentage of recombination, which is equal to the distance 18 centimorgans. Now in the options we are finding 18 centimorgan in cis manner and trans manner. In my earlier video I discussed about what is cis and what is trans. So cis arrangement here we find. So what is cis arrangement? Where in a homologous pair of chromosome, we find both the dominant alleles in one pair only. When we pair in a homologous, when we get both the dominant allele in one, or the other when we find a recessive allele. This type of arrangement is called as a cis type of arrangement. That's what we find here with this parent. So in cis type, these are the parental combinations. So we are getting more of parental combinations, very less of recombinants. So 18 centimorgans is the percentage of recombination. That means that will be distance between A and B. So this is how we can. Cis arrangement and trans arrangement we can give based on the arrangement here. This type of arrangement in the say here, this will be the trans arrangement. What will be the trans arrangement? Suppose we have to show here. This is called as a cis. Suppose we have to show the trans arrangement here in this homologous pair. So here we will show plus and here we will show A. or here B, here plus. This type of arrangement we can consider it as a trans arrangement. So here we have a cis type of arrangement. So this is how we can find out the percentage of recombination, which directly gives the distance between the two genes. Now the next question, sixth question. Assuming that A, B, C and D genes are not linked, the probability of a progeny being this one, A capital A small a, B, B, small c and D, D from a cross between A, B, B. This is a double heterozygous we can find. This A homozygous, B and B heterozygous, and again this, and this is heterozygous. And this one, small a, capital B, small c, and D, capital D, parents will be. So what is asked here? Progeny being this one. So here we can show by making a cross. We can make a cross here, and then when you show it, you will get that. So when we try to make a cross here, so first what you have to find out, say what is the cross here? Progeny being this, the cross between, this is what is the given. This is one crossed with, this is the parent crossed with small a small b, small c, and capital D. So here what type of gametes we can find? What type of gametes? Here type of gametes we can find out based on the number of heterozygous condition. Here we have only 2 heterozygous condition. So if there are 2 heterozygous condition, 2 to the power of n. N is number of heterozygous. So how many heterozygous here? 2. So here the gametes we get is 4 types of gametes. The gametes which we can get here is the 4 types of gametes. Here we don't have any heterozygous condition. All are homozygous. So we get here only 1 type of gamete. So when we get 4 types of gamete and 1 type of gamete here, when we cross them, we get 4 different types of genotypes. 4 individuals with 4 types of genotypes. So this actually you can write a cross and then write. I will write one of the type of gametes. What you can get, one say gamete A, capital A, capital B, then you can get small b, small c, capital D, small d. So in this way, this is one. So one is capital A, capital B, and then you can get small c and capital B. Not this way, capital A you will get B and then small c, capital D. This is one. Again you will take another one, capital A, capital B, and then you will get small c, small d. In this way, when you start writing, here you will get 4 types of gametes. So simple way, in a small, very, say in a just a shortcut, what you can understand here is simply 2 heterozygous conditions, so 4 types of gametes, and here only 1 type of gamete. So when you cross them, all 4 different genotypes. So what will be the answer here? The probability of this being will be 1 by 4. You get, out of 4 progeny, 1 will be this. Now, next question. In a cotton plant, gene for lint also influences height, size of a ball, seed viability, and number of ovules. So, gene for lint is a fiber. Lint is a cotton fiber. It is called as a lint. So, lint is a cotton fiber. So, gene which represents lint also influences other character. So, one gene which is representing more than one character, we call that as pleiotropism. So, here it is called as a pleiotropism. Okay, now next question. Let us go to the next one. In a dihybrid test cross in an organism, considering 3 gene loci, these are the 3 gene loci, the distance between gene AC 15 centimorgans between A and C. Between B and C it is 20 centimorgans, and between A and B, it is 5 centimorgans. So what should be the sequence? Always for this, you have to take a distance which is very long or which is more. So you can take between B and C, or this distance, if you take it as a 20 centimorgans. Then what is the other given? Between A and C it is 15, A and B it is only 5. So if you take A here, this point A, this is B, this is C, A and B, it is 5. Total is 20. A and B it is 5 and A and C it is 15. So this will be the sequence CAB, or you can give it as BAC also. So CAB, that is the sequence of genes present. Now the next question. Let us go to the next question. In a dihybrid test cross, recombination, RC means recombination, and parental combinations are formed in 2:1 ratio. So recombinants and parental combinations, the ratio given is 2:9. What is the percentage of recombination, percentage of crossing over, and percentage of linkage? So first, if we can find out percentage of recombination. Percentage of recombination, when you take, here recombinants are, so let us first start with first question, percentage of recombination. So recombination percentage here, total individual 2 plus 9, 11, recombinants are 2. So 2 by 11. 2 by 11. That if you calculate, it comes to around 18.2%. It comes to 18.2%. Now next part asked in the question is percentage of crossing over. Percentage of crossing over is calculated as 2 into percentage of recombination. 2 into percentage of recombination. That is how the percentage of this is calculated. So 2 into percentage of recombination is, you get 18.2 into 2. So you will get, if you multiply, you will get about 36.4. That is percentage of crossing over. Now percentage of linkage. Percentage of linkage will be 100 minus percentage of crossing over. Percentage of linkage is 100 minus percentage of crossing over. So you will simply 100 minus 36.4. 100 minus 36.4, when you do it, you will get about 63.6. So to understand, remember these formulae very well. These are very important. Crossing over is 2 into percentage of recombination. Linkage is 100 minus percentage of recombination. Percentage of recombination you can calculate. Total number, if we say recombinants by total progeny. That will give you percentage of recombination. Okay, now the next question also almost the same you will get. So if percentage of linkage is 22, what is the percentage of crossing over and recombination? So by using the same percentage of linkage is given already. So if linkage percentage is 22, so this also you can calculate. So percentage of linkage is 100 minus crossing over. So what is the percentage of crossing over? So if percentage of linkage is how much? 22. So 22 into 100 minus crossing over. So crossing over percentage you will get as 100 minus 22. So that will be 78. 78% will be the, this will be the percent of linkage. Percent of linkage. Percent of, say linkage is 22. So what is the percent of crossing over? This will be the percent of crossing over. Sorry, not linkage, percent of crossing over. Now what is percentage of recombination? Percent of crossing over equal to 2 into percent of recombination. So we got percent of crossing over as 78. So percent of recombination should be equal to crossing over by 2. So 78 by 2. 78 by 2. How much you are going to get? 39. 39. So this is how, by using this formula, you can calculate percent of linkage, crossing over, and also recombination. Okay, now let us go to the next question. In a dihybrid test cross, there are 540 recombinants and about 1260 are parental are formed. Calculate the percent of recombination, percent of crossing over, and percent of linkage. The same way as we have just done in the previous one, I suppose now you can do it. The 540 are recombinants and 12 are parental combinations. So total you can take 540, and if you add it, 540 plus 1260 plus 540, that will be the total progeny. So I hope this you can calculate. So total progeny first, if we find out total progeny, we can find out 540 plus 1260. So this we can get 1800. 1800 is the total progeny. And now percent of recombination. Percent of recombination should be 540 by 1800 into 100. 540 by 1800 into 100. That will be the percent of recombination. So that's how you can, by using this formula, percent of recombination. And crossing over will be when you get 2 into percent of recombination, percent of crossing over. So this, I suppose you can do this. So here we are getting, I think, percent of recombination about 30%. This will be the percent of recombination. Percent of recombination always number of recombinants by total progeny into 100. So percent of recombination we got how much? 30%. Crossing over will be, crossing over percentage is 2 into recombinants. So it will be 2 into 30. That will be 60. 60% is the percent of crossing over. Percent of linkage. Percent of linkage equal to 100 minus crossing over percentage. So 100 minus 60, that will be 40%. So 40% is the percent of linkage, percent of recombination is 30, percent of crossing over is 60. So by simply using this formula you can calculate. Now the next question, go through the types of gametes produced in monohybrid back cross. Monohybrid back cross is this one. This is the F1 hybrid. This is the F1 hybrid. We know this is the F1 hybrid crossed with the dominant parent. This we call it as a back cross. This we call it as a back cross. And here we have two types of gametes formed. Here one type of gametes. So total we can give 3 types of gametes are formed here. 3 types of gametes. Next question, the number of kinds of gametes produced by a dihybrid. A dihybrid is, you know, a dihybrid, when we take a dihybrid cross, this is how we can take a dihybrid for round and yellow. So this will form 4 types of gametes. So always remember, depending on number of heterozygous condition present. So 2 into n. N indicates number of heterozygous condition. So based on that we can calculate the number of gametes. So here types of gametes are 4. Okay, now going to the next question. We are discussing, everything is there in front of you, children. You can once again go through it and try to solve by yourself. In a dihybrid cross, the ratio of pure double dominants and pure double recessive individual. When we take a dihybrid cross, the pure double dominant. So pure double dominant is capital R, capital Y, small, capital Y. And pure double recessive are R, smaller, small y. This is wrinkled and green, round and yellow. So this genotype we find only one each. So it will be 1:1. Now the next one is the number of recombinants formed in F2 dihybrid cross. Number of recombinants. This we have to take phenotypic recombinants. Number of phenotypic recombinants. You know the dihybrid phenotypic ratio is 9:3:3:1. That is the dihybrid phenotypic ratio. In this, these 3 and 3, that is 6 are recombinants. Out of 16, total 16, these are the recombinants. So we can give the answer as 6/16. Now, the next question. When a true breeding pea plant with yellow wrinkled, this is yellow wrinkled. It is true breeding means both are homozygous. Is crossed with green round. This is also homozygous for green and round. The genotype of progeny will be. So this, if you cross it, you will get this genotype, because here you will get only one type of gamete. So in 16th question, suppose this is the one parent crossed with this is another one. So here you get one type of gamete, and here you get only one type. When you cross, this is how you will get. So this will be the answer for this. Capital Y, capital R, small r. Okay, now let us go to the next question. The number of monohybrids formed in F2 dihybrid cross. Number of monohybrids formed in F2 dihybrid cross. For this to answer, you have to first remember the entire F2 progeny. The genotype of the entire F2 progeny, you have to remember it. So when you remember genotype of entire F2 progeny, here you have to identify single heterozygous condition. Single heterozygous condition. Single heterozygous condition means this type of condition. This is one single heterozygous, or this also is a single heterozygous condition. So this type. So either this or this. So anything, single heterozygous condition, or you get this way also. This is also single heterozygous condition, or you may get this one, this genotype. So in this way, if you start counting, total 8 single heterozygous condition you will get. You try to understand, remember the entire F2 progeny, you will get 8. So 8/16. This is how you can take 8/16. Okay. Now the next question. Next one. If vestigial winged female Drosophila heterozygous for grey body is crossed to an ebony male heterozygous for long wing, the possible phenotypic ratio. So here vestigial winged and heterozygous for grey body. Body color is grey, heterozygous. Vestigial wings we can represent small v is crossed with ebony male. Ebony is the recessive condition for grey body color, and heterozygous for long wings. So here we will take small b for body color, and V plus and V heterozygous for the wings, normal size or long wings. So this is the cross. And what is the question asked? The possible phenotypic ratio. So here if you make a ratio, you will get possible. Say here you are going to get two types of gametes. From this you are going to get two types of gametes. One is small b, capital B and small v. Small b and small v. This is for this. And from the other parent you are going to also, here also you are going to get two types of gamete. small b and v plus small b and v. So you are going to get this type. This will be grey body color and long wings. So this is grey and long, grey and long. Here you are getting B and B, V plus and V. So this will be ebony body color and long wings. Similarly, if you take the other one, capital B, small v, small v, small v. Capital B, small b means it should be grey body color and vestigial wings. Grey body color and vestigial wings. And here last you are going to get all recessive. So here this will be ebony body color and vestigial. So we are getting all four. So what will be the ratio? 1:1:1:1. So this will be the ratio. So it is very important here for such questions to first write the genotypes and then quickly you can make a cross. This entire thing will take just a 1 minute time. Maybe explanation I may take little time, but just when you write it you are going to take only 1 minute time. Okay, now next question. In a typical dihybrid cross in pea plant with this genotype capital T and small t, this is crossed with small t and A. So capital T represent the tall condition, tallness. And so this is the cross. 480 pea plants are formed in F2. The expected number of progeny homozygous for only tallness. Expected homozygous for only tallness. So what will you get? Homozygous only for tallness. So here 4 options are given here: 240, 120, 30 and 60. So homozygous only for tallness. So when you make a cross, this you are going to get in the F1. This is you are going to get in the F1. And when you make a F2 progeny, that is selfing by this, when you make an F2 progeny, when you count this capital T only you have to check. When you check this, you are going to get total 4 out of 16. That means 1/4 you are going to get. 1/4. What is the number here? 480. So you have to take 1/4 of 480. 480 by 4. So 480 by 4 you are going to get 120. This is the same as the dihybrid cross. So when you count this, you are going to get. Just make a cross dihybrid and then count it. You are going to get. Okay. Now going to the next question. Let us go through the next question. In a Mendelian dihybrid cross, the number of phenotypic recombinants is 36 in F2 generation. Number of phenotypic recombinants is 36 in F2 generation. The number of organisms with genotype accounts for 1/4 of F2 generation. So what will be the number? Here options given are 48, 24, 18 and 12. So number of phenotypic recombinants, when we take a dihybrid cross, already in the previous question we have seen, it is in this ratio 6 are the phenotypic recombinants. So if 6 are the phenotypic recombinants, what is the number of progeny? Total progeny is 16. 6 are the phenotypic recombinants. We got total progeny as 16. Suppose 36 here as given in the question are the phenotypic recombinants. 36 are the phenotypic recombinants. Then we get how many? So we get like this. We get a total of 96 progeny. Total progeny according to the question 96. What is asked in the question? The number of organisms with genotype accounts for 1/4 of F2 generation. So we have to find out 1/4 of this. So 1/4 of 96, when we get we get the answer as 24. So here you have to understand first what is a dihybrid cross. Then you will be able to answer this. Now let us go to the next question. The crossing over of gene occurs in 50% of cases of a dihybrid. This is a dihybrid. Dihybrid, you know this is a dihybrid. What is given in the question is the crossing over percentage is 50. 50% is the crossing over percentage. Which of the types of gametes are formed? Suppose if crossing over percentage is 50, that means there is no linkage. If there is a linkage, either complete or incomplete, crossing over percentage always will be less than 50. So there is no linkage. If there is no linkage, there will be definitely 4 types of gametes are formed. This will be the answer, 4 types. What are the 4 types of gametes formed here? AB is one, and then capital A small b is another one, small a capital B is one, small a small b is another one. So all are formed in equal proportions. So all will be 25% each. All will be 25% each because there is no linkage. Here very important point what you have to remember is if crossing over percentage is 50, that means there is no linkage here. If there is no linkage, all 4 types of gametes will be formed equally. That means there is a crossing over. Okay, now let us go to the next question. If the frequency of recessive phenotype in a stable population is 25, what is the frequency of dominant allele in that population? So here for this question, we can take the genotypic ratio of Mendel's monohybrid cross. Say Mendel's monohybrid cross, this is how we get 3 types of genotypes. This is completely dominant, heterozygous, and completely recessive. So here we have what is given here, frequency of recessive, this is 25%. So what is the frequency of dominant allele is asked. So dominant alleles are, how many are there? Total alleles if we count, there are 6. 6 alleles are present. These 3 are dominant, similarly other 3 are recessive. So frequency of dominant allele, we have to take it as 50%. Because out of 6, 3 are dominant. Similarly, it will be the frequency of recessive allele also. It will be 50%. I hope you have understood this. We are taking based on the total alleles present here in this ratio are 6. Out of the total alleles, 3 are dominant, 3 are recessive. So frequency or percentage of dominant allele will be 50%. Next question. Which of the following is suitable for experiment on linkage? Linkage experiments always are taken by this one, dominant and completely recessive, because they can be arranged either in a cis manner or trans manner. So once we get this, say suppose here, this is what we have to take for linkage. And you know, here if these 2 are parents, you know F1, this is how we are going to get completely heterozygous. So if there is a linkage, this will give rise to only 2 types of gametes. And accordingly, the percentage of, if we already discussed what is complete and incomplete linkage, accordingly we find parental and recombinant. So always this will be suitable for linkage. Now the next question, in a cross between these 2, that is completely homozygous dominant. So what is the cross given here? Completely double dominant homozygous and crossed with completely double recessive homozygous. The ratio of genotype in F2 generation between AABB, that is completely this and this, all this. So capital A small a, capital B small b, another one is capital A small a and all small b, and completely. What will be the ratio? This again you can find out by knowing completely the checkerboard or complete genotype of F2 progeny. So we get in this manner, we get 1:2:2:1. These genotypes, if we take, the given genotypes are this. And if you just refer to the checkerboard given in the F2 progeny, you will be able to easily identify these genotypes. You will get in this ratio 1:2:2:1. Okay, now going to the next question. Going to the next one. In a population of 1000 individuals, 360 belong to genotype AA. Progeny of total of 1000 individuals, that is total, 360 belong to, so AA genotype is 360 and 480 to AA is 480 and completely recessive is 160. The frequency of allele A in the population. So similarly, as we have done in the previous question, frequency of allele A to find out total we know, and here AA we find total 360. Here capital A, small a, both heterozygous together is 480. Individually if we take, we get by 2, that is 240. So here the frequency of allele A for this frequency is 240. And here both the alleles are dominant, capital A, so we can take 360. So frequency of allele A should be equal to 360 plus 240. So 360 plus 240 we get as 600 out of 1000. So probability, if we have to find out frequency, when we divide 600 by 1000, we will get 0.6. So this should be the answer, 0.6. Okay, now next question. At a particular locus, frequency of allele A is 0.6 and frequency of A, small a, is 0.4. What would be the frequency of heterozygotes in that population? What should be the frequency of heterozygotes in that population? So allele A is given and 0.4. What would be the frequency? So in a heterozygous condition if we take, so frequency of one allele is given as, so here we can calculate by this manner. Frequency of allele A is 0.6 and frequency of allele small a is 0.4. So what would be the frequency of heterozygotes in that population? So here a little bit we have to apply what is Hardy-Weinberg's law. Hardy-Weinberg law. So Hardy-Weinberg law, what it says is, we can, this we take it as P, small a we take it as Q, and we should take it as P plus Q, frequency of the alleles, we should take it as P plus Q whole square. That will be the frequency of these genotypes. So when we solve this, how do we take P square plus 2PQ plus Q square? This is constant. So this P square will indicate AA, this will indicate heterozygous condition, this will indicate homozygous condition. So now we know the value of P and Q, that is 0.6, 0.4. So here simply what is asked in the question, heterozygous is asked, we can just substitute here. So 2 into P is how much? 0.6 into 0.4. So here we can, when we multiply this, how much do we get? 0.24. 0.24 into 2. 0.24 into 2. So 0.48. So here we should get 0.48. That should be the frequency. Simply by using this formula, you can find out the frequency of any genotypes. This formula is used for finding out any genotypes in the population, provided we know what is dominant, the frequency of dominant and recessive alleles. Okay, now coming to the next question. Two linked genes A and B show 20% recombinance. The individuals of dihybrid cross between these two, that is plus and AB, will show the gametes. So their recombinants are 20%, 20 recombinants, and these are the parental. So according to these options given, the most appropriate you will get, these are the, so I'll write it down here. This is what we get parental. These are the recombinants. So I'll read out, plus is one parental, AB is another parental, plus A is recombinant, plus B is another recombinant. So recombinants together is 20%. So each one we should take it as 10. So 10 and 10 makes 20. So what is remaining? 80. So parental will be 40 each. So third option will be the correct option here based on the percentages given. Okay, now last few questions are left. So on selfing a plant of F1 generation with genotype, this genotype. So this is the genotype given. So on selfing the plant, the genotypic ratio in F2 generation will be. So this is how many types of this on selfing this. This is the genotype given. On selfing a plant of F1 generation with genotype, this genotype. So this we have to show the selfing of that. So when we show selfing of this, so this selfing means we have to, on selfing of a plant of F1 generation with genotype, the genotypic ratio in F2 generation will be. So this when we do selfing, so this is how we have to take. So here we find only one heterozygous condition. One heterozygous means this is going to give only single heterozygous. So this is going to give only two types of gametes. It's going to give only two types of gametes. So when it is going to give two types of gametes, this is similarly equal to a monohybrid cross. This is nothing but a monohybrid. So here only two types. Like monohybrid, already we know a very simple representation. This is how we know in monohybrid cross. So simple what we can understand is here two types. So here also two types. So here ratio should be 1:2:1. Though three genes are represented here, but since it is only a single monohybrid, so since we get here only two types of gametes, remember what is asked in the question, selfing of this genotype. So when this is self, two types of gametes are formed. So we are going to get only 1:2:1. So correct answer will be 1:2:1. Next question. The crossover value of genes of M and N. Crossover values means same percent of recombination. Crossover value of M and N given as 5%. Crossover between N and P is given as 15%. The possible sequence of the three genes. So if we take say N and P or M and N is 5% and N and P is 50%. So this is 15%. So suppose we take N and P at the two corners. This is how much? 15%. And between M and N it is 5%. So this is 1 PMN. NMP or PMN, the second option we can take. But first option is also possible. We can take in this manner also. MNP. NP, what is this? We can give it as 15. M and N, 5. MP total between M and P 20%, because M and P it is not mentioned in the question. So we get two of these possibilities. One is PMN or NMP, another one MNP. Now coming to, this is the almost last question of my session. A set of genes will be in complete linkage. This is complete linkage when the progeny phenotypes for parental and recombinant types are. So what will be the parental and recombinant types? That means which option will show the complete linkage? So we know in complete linkage the recombinants are 0. Recombinants are completely 0%. So which of these options we find? Recombinant 0. It is the fourth option. So in the fourth option we find total recombinants are 0. So I tried to cover some of the questions, students, some important questions. I hope you should go through each and every question and do it for yourself once again. So lastly, at one glance, I have listed down all the ratios which are very important in this chapter from EAMCET point of view and also for NEET point of view or any other exam. All the ratios at a glance I have listed down in one particular page only. So let us quickly see what are the ratios. First one, monohybrid phenotypic ratio. This you know 1:1. Monohybrid genotypic ratio 1:2:1. Monohybrid test cross ratio 1:1. Similarly, dihybrid phenotypic ratio 9:3:3:1. Dihybrid genotypic ratio 1:2:4:1:2:1. Dihybrid test cross ratio all 1:1:1:1. Incomplete dominance genotypic ratio 1:2:1. Incomplete dominance phenotypic ratio, that is 1:2:1. Polygenic inheritance. In polygenic inheritance, phenotypic ratio taking kernel color in wheat. Kernel is the outer seed coat. So here it is controlled by only 2 genes. So the ratio is 1:4:6:4:1. Skin color in humans controlled by 3 genes. So it is 1:16:15:20:15:6:1. Then number of phenotypes for polygenes. How do you calculate? 2n plus 1. N is the pair of genes present, polygenes present. Number of genotypes for polygenes. You calculate by formula 3 to the power of n. The last ratio, pleiotropic ratio in P showing star synthesis and shape of the seed. That you get as 3:6:3:1:2:1. Here the single gene represents shape of the seed, that is round and wrinkled, and also size of the starch grains. Here size of the starch grains show incomplete dominance and shape of the seed show complete dominance. You know complete dominance has a phenotypic ratio of 3:1. Incomplete dominance has a phenotypic ratio of 1:2:1. When you multiply these two, you get this ratio. Okay children, so with this I close my session for today, though it is slightly long session. I want all of you to go through each and every question. These are very, very important questions for your NEET, and it gives a thorough understanding of this chapter, Principles of Inheritance and Variation. So thank you very much children. All the best for your exams. Study well.